again, sober and serious moment. Meanwhile, can I just add, and this is why I told the president, just get it over with. Arrest me. Move on. If you need some head to scalp, do it with me, but stop messing with these kids. Stop messing with 4-year-olds, kids in elementary school. We've got kids. We have hundreds of graduations down here. Kids are not going in their own graduations. Families, grandparents here legally, mixed status families in some cases, scared to death to go to a graduation. People are scared to walk down the streets. It's not just Home Depots, getting their car washed. We have incidences. I didn't believe it because what was I thinking? I actually believe when they said this is not true, but then I saw videos. They're doing checkpoints, checking people's IDs. We've never seen this kind of deployment in so many actions. It's mass panic out here in the nation's largest county, in the nation's largest state. Good, hardworking people, decent people. These are not the criminals. These are not the thugs.
Mia, do you think Gavin Newsom's going to get arrested?
No, I don't think Gavin Newsom's going to get arrested, to be honest. I feel like that's just like sensational marketing or whatever. I don't think he's going to get arrested. I mean, I don't even know what charges they would bring up onto him, to be honest. Being a crappy person is not a chargeable offense, to my knowledge, or a lot more people would be in jail. So, I mean, I don't know what kind of charges they bring him up on. I don't think he's going to get arrested. I mean, if he pulls some stunt where he is impeding federal agents from arresting people, then that's a different story. Then he commits a crime. But I think as of right now, just him existing, running his little twitty fingers on X is going to get him arrested.
Enzo, do you feel like Gavin Newsom is right that what Trump is doing is abhorrent, or do you feel like it's necessary?
100% necessary. This needed to happen. Because if it didn't, LA would... So if Trump didn't step in with the wildfires, more than 25,000 homes would have been burned to the ground. And if he didn't put the National Guard in now, the 2-7s in LA, it would probably be burned to the ground too. I agree with what Donald Trump is doing, 110 for fucking percent. This needed to happen. And Gavin Newsom should be arrested for allowing his state to do this. The LAPD said they were outnumbered. They didn't have the manpower. They didn't have the capabilities to control this. What are you supposed to do at that point? Just sit back and watch and let American citizens just get harmed and be in harm's way? God forbid the National Guard didn't step in. Rioting and looting could have started really happening. That's exactly what I'm seeing. Like, it's bad right now, but it would have been 100 times worse if they were not there. So, fuck Gavin Newsom. I hope he gets arrested for treason at this point. And bring somebody who's actually capable in. Because I know plenty of people in California who talk shit about this guy. They tried to impeach him in 2020, from what I just heard, and they still reelected him. What is wrong with you people there?
Well, you know
go ahead, Mila.
Sorry, I was gonna say, you know what's like, you know what's absolutely, in my mind, what's like absolutely crazy is everybody knew this was coming. This is not new. The second that Donald Trump got elected, everybody knew that this was going to happen. I mean, in the history of the United States, when has the federal government said, hey, I'll give you $1,000 and a free ticket home if you go home? These people have had more than enough time to figure out what they want to do, whether they want to file the paperwork, whether they want to, like, go home on their own, take the money from the feds. I mean, these people have known exactly what's going to happen. Why are they acting so surprised when they're doing stops or they're going X, Y, and Z and they are executing federal warrants in these places? This isn't anything new. Like, people just are acting like we didn't have a fucking election in November. Like, what the hell?
Exactly.
We're literally paying you to leave. I'd be like, all right, homie, $1,000 in an impoverished second and third world country, bro, I'm gone. And a free ride home to see my shit, I'm gone. It's warm down there. It's cold where I live. I'd be ready to go. I'd be packing my bags, going back to paradise.
Tell them. They tell us that they send Italians back to Italy. I'm on the first fucking flight. What's up? I'm cool with that.
Kamal, you live in California. Is Gavin Newsom a good governor?
Hell no, I ain't no good governor. And that motherfucker, yeah, he is charged with having the same hairstyle as Reverend Sharpton. If you a white man with a conch, you need to be in jail. I'm sorry. You can't have a conch have the same hairstyle as Reverend Sharpton and be respected. You feel me? And like, this is my thing when it comes to Gavin Newsom, man. Like, just quit politics and go into Hollywood, bro, because that's what you really want to do. He want to be an actor. That's what he really wants to do. So, hey, man, do that shit. And also, a lot of reason why these illegal immigrants ain't going back to their home country, because they go back to their home country, they got a whole heap of trouble over there, man. They running away from doing crime. They running away from the shit that they got involved with over there, where they homies at home is like, yeah, bring your ass back over here and see what happened. That's why they not going over there. Because, yeah, you would think if you get a thou wow and you go to a third world country, if you know what you're doing, you're going to be booming. But they ain't doing that shit. They want to stay here and wave the Mexican flag while stomping on cars, destroying their own shit. Well, go ahead. Keep destroying your own shit. I give a rat's ass. Hey, my Black American people, bro, they can't deport us. They keep trying to say, hey, man, you got to be out here because they can deport you too. How? That don't make no goddamn sense. God damn, man. Yeah. And Gavin Newsom, man, bro, if y'all really look at, bro, you can't trust somebody that look like Jafar. Y'all know who Jafar is?
Who's Jafar? Aladdin?
Bro.
Yes, the bad guy. Look at, yeah. Got the same
Stop.
long face and everything. You can't trust somebody that look like Jafar. Just saying.
Well, they said that they need 17K. They said the average 17K per immigrant to go back home to survive. That's what they said.
Who said that? The immigrants? The illegal
I read an article. That's what I read.
That's not the quote. The fact is 17K per person to deport them. So that's why they're saying we're giving them 1,000 to deport. But I'll wait to.
Well, yeah, they said they need more money more than 1K. But go ahead, Nora. What were you going to say?
So let me clarify. So 17K is the cost to deport per person. So in lieu of that, that's why they're offering 1,000. You have influencers like Kaizen out here telling the U.S. government we should be offering 5,000 for these people to go through. I don't think they would even leave for 5,000. So let me say this. As a child of immigrants, as somebody from a third world country, my family, it is rough in those countries. So I do sympathize. But for that reason, you should be showing up to your court dates. For that reason, you should be compliant. You hear a lot of these people, they go out, they commit these crimes against Americans, they get picked up, they were already deported, and or they had multiple chances to be compliant with the United States ICE, and they chose not to show up to court. Whose fault is that? Number one. Number two, they are looting right now. They're looting CVS. They're looting Adidas. They're looting the Apple Store. What does that have to do with ICE and the immigration? They have been destroying property. They destroyed Kobe Bryant's mural, who was a foundationally Black American. They've been destroying property. They've been destroying cars, thousands of millions of dollars worth of damage. But that has to do with immigrants, right? All because they're angry that the United States decided to come show up to churches or graduations. The fact that these people think that they don't have to comply and that they don't have to be a part of the system is a problem to me. And again, it goes back to supremacy. They think they're better than American citizens. They think that they are better than our government. They think that they're better than our law enforcement. And again, I stand by law and order. The fact of the matter is, you need to be compliant. If you're not, you need to go. I mean, I do empathize with these people, but also, lastly, I'll say this. We have a very broken immigration system. The immigration system needs reform. There needs to be something in place to fix the system. There needs to be something in place to help the people that have been here to get citizenship. And I will say that we do have a broken system.
Gavin Newsom 2028. But since we're talking about, what's going on with the deportation and all the protests, and Nora want to go through all the numbers, let's see the big number of how much everything is costing.
Express my severe concern with the deployment of the National Guard in Los Angeles without consultation of the state of California. There have been photographs that have shown these troops sleeping on the floor. and have not been provided fuel, food, or water by DoD. How long will this deployment last, and why were we unprepared to provide them basic necessities such as food and water?
The commanders and troops on the field are very well prepared, sir. They responded incredibly rapidly to a deteriorating situation with equipment and capabilities. We have made sure from the top down, as the Secretary of Defense, who's been in a unit holding riot shields outside the White House during the chaos of the summer of 2020. I know what it's like to be immediately deployed into a situation like that. There are moments where you make do as best you can temporarily, but we are ensuring they're housed, fed, water capabilities in real time from my office, because I care that much about the California Guard and the Marines and the men and women who are supporting our ICE agents on the ground.
You should check
It's
with your
true
office.
every day, and that's a disingenuous attack that
last?
misrepresents how much we care about our troops
How
and
long
what
will
they're
the
doing to
deployment
defend ICE agents. I'm not going to take the fact that we don't care about the troops. Nobody cares more about the troops at the top than this secretary and the
Mr.
chairman
Secretary,
and our
how long will
department.
the deployment last?
We stated very publicly that it's 60 days, because we want to ensure that those rioters, looters, and thugs on the other side assaulting our police officers
What is the
know that we're not
estimated
going
cost?
anywhere.
What
We're
is the
here to
estimated-
maintain the peace on behalf of law enforcement
Secretary,
officers in Los Angeles,
appreciate
which
you
Gavin
answering the
Newsom
question.
won't do.
What is the estimated cost of the deployment for the Guard and the Marines to LA, and where's this funding coming from? Will it be coming from quality of life programs that affect our service members or our families? If you want to wait till I finish.
Before
my
I hand it
question,
to-
such as updates, housing and barracks?
Before I hand it to Bryn, the insinuation that we're pulling money from housing and barracks in order to fund this is disingenuous and incorrect.
I'm just asking.
Bryn can give you the numbers, absolutely.
So the current estimated cost is $134 million, which is largely just TDY costs, travel, housing, food, et cetera.
Where's it coming from? That's the cost, but where's it coming from?
Out of their O&M accounts.
With the most recent deployment of the Marines, Mr. Secretary, what's the justification for using the military for civilian law enforcement purposes in LA? Why are you sending war fighters to cities to interact with civilians?
Every American citizen deserves to live in a community that's safe, and ICE agents need to be able to do their job. They're being attacked for doing their job, which is deporting illegal criminals. That should happen in any city, Minneapolis or Los Angeles. And if they're attacked, that's lawless, and President Trump believes in law and order. So he has every authority, and he has done mobilizing National Guard or active duty troops under U.S. code to protect
let's talk about-
federal
let's talk about the
agents
US
in
code.
their job, which is
Let's talk
exactly
about
what
US
we're doing,
code.
and we're proud to
10
do
USC,
it. We're
Mr.
proud to
Secretary,
do it.
10 USC of the U.S. Code 12406 as a legal basis that the president used cites 3 examples and circumstances for the Guard: invasion by a foreign nation, rebellion or dangerous rebellion against the authority of the government of the United States, or the president is unable with regular forces to execute the laws of the United States. Which authority is triggered here to justify the use?
I don't know. You just read it yourself, and people can listen themselves, but it sounds like all 3 to me. If you've got millions of illegals
Think
and
the
you don't know where
president
they're
is
coming
unable
from,
to
they're
execute the laws of the
waving
United
flags
States?
from foreign
You just
countries
said-
and assaulting police officers
Said
and
the
law
president
enforcement
is
officers,
unable to
that's the
execute
problem.
the laws of the United States?
No,
That's
the governor of
pretty dangerous.
California is unable
The
to
code
execute the
says-
laws of the
the code
United
says
States.
the president. You said
The
all 3
governor
apply.
of the California has failed to protect his people, along with the mayor of Los Angeles, and so President Trump has said he will protect our agents, and our Guard and Marines
The
are
law
proud to do
also
it.
says, Mr. Secretary, that the orders for these purposes shall be issued through governors of the states.
You and I both know that President Trump has all the authorities necessary, and thankfully he's willing to do it on behalf of the citizens of Los Angeles, on behalf of our ICE agents, and behalf of our country.
We've also pulled $1 billion for the border as well. So this just goes into the same, fund, 134. What did
Congressman,
you
what's the-
indicate, 134 million? I was asking Ms. McDonald.
Okay.
134 million goes on top of the billion that's been pulled for the
So
border.
the funding that was pulled for this year was largely in FSRM, and in this budget, we're actually looking to plus that funding back up to backfill that for our troops and for their families.
So the price tag of that is 192 million for this. Currently, we have American troops sleeping in warehouses with no water, no food, who are in the National Guard. And so it looks like this is going to cost a lot of money. And it looks like the soldiers aren't, being well taken care of. It also looks like Trump violating the Constitution. So, Nora, I see you making faces over there. What is your take on what Pete Hegseth said?
Let me say this: since President Trump has sent in the Marines, the National Guard, the local law enforcement are now able to do their job. They've arrested over 140 people today alone. Just today alone. That's more than all the days combined. So I support President Trump in sending in the military. If there's lawlessness in the street, if there's danger to federal workers like the ICE agents, he has a duty and an obligation to protect them. And also, let me tell you, California is like a microcosm for the rest of the nation. What happens in California by the left, they then follow it nationwide. So January 14th, or not January 14th, June 14th on Saturday, there are protests coming all over the country. He has to make an example out of them, because if he does not, you are going to see California, in New York City, in Houston, in Dallas, even here in Tampa, Florida, all over the nation. And he has to put his foot down and say, no lawlessness, we ain't having this, and there will be law and order. So I support whatever they're doing operationally, militarily.
And so I see you shaking your head. Yeah, so you agree with Nora?
100%. Because the funny thing was today, so my job, we do a lot of stuff, like a lot of government contracts and everything. I was at the New Jersey National Guard Armory today, which typically there's not usually National Guardsmen there. Packed for some reason. I was trying to ask around like the project managers of what this was about. And then that's when I found out about the whole No Kings organization website that they have going on. I'm going to the one in Bryant Square on Saturday. I want to get some footage. I want to know what the fuck's going on. Like I got my shit ready. I just ordered the fucking press
Don't wear your hat.
Velcro. Oh, no, I'm not. Like I have a fucking vest myself. I'm gonna be wearing that with the press shit right across the fucking front of it while I'm there the entire time, because I don't know what's gonna happen. It's New York, so you never know. But I agree 100% that this needed to be done. He didn't violate the Constitution by activating the National Guard or putting the Marines there. Like I said last night, it's under Title 10 authority, specifically 10 USC section 12406, to activate the National Guard and deploy them to Los Angeles in response to the protest over federal immigration enforcement. The section allows the president to federalize the National Guard of any state as he considers necessary to repel an invasion, suppress a rebellion, or execute the law, which law enforcement is not able to do that there. So Gavin Newsom's going to have a fucking rude awakening when that shit goes to the courts, because he's going to lose royally.
Mia, as a child of a veteran, how do you feel about the condition that the troops are in?
I think it's terrible. I think it's abhorrent. I think if we're going to activate any sort of military response, we need to be prepared for said military response. I understand Pete Hegseth when he talks about needing to respond immediately, and obviously when you need to respond now. Obviously, some things fall through the cracks or whatever when you need to get to a place as soon as possible or as fast as possible. I mean, I've worked on an ambulance. I absolutely understand that. When you need to get there, you need to get there. And you do what you do with what you have in the area. I absolutely understand that. So I think at this point in time, we just have to kind of wait and see. Newsom and the Secretary of State for California filed paperwork, filed a lawsuit in the federal courts today in California. So obviously we'll kind of see what the Californian federal court system says about if Donald Trump overreached. But I mean, at this point in time, with all of the footage and all of the presentations, plus all of the arrests today alone, I mean, one could say he wasn't really, he did the right thing. I'm sorry, but it's kind of one of those things where he was elected because of this kind of response. This is the response that over 80 million Americans expect. This is the response. We are sick and tired of billions upon billions upon billions of dollars of burning down our own neighborhoods. A lot of people are, for starters, California, for so much money they spend on education, they're the stupidest people I've ever met. So they are hurting franchise owners. Franchise owners isn't corporate. Corporate doesn't give a shit. They are hurting their own cousins, their families. You're burning down bodegas that have been in families for 20, 30, 40 years. You are literally hurting your own communities. we're watching in real time as these people are destroying their neighbors' cars in their own communities. Like, I don't understand. You're looting these places, you're burning these buildings down, you're burning these cars, you're making your own community look like trash over what? Over what? Riddle me that. That's crazy. That's wild work.
Come on. So for you, like, it needed to be done. Does it matter if Trump violated the Constitution or not? How do you feel about it?
First off, I'm from California, y'all. So we not all stupid. Okay.
Sorry, I keep forgetting.
It's the ones that are outside.
My bad. Not you. Everybody but Kamal.
I'll fuck with y'all. Second of all, you should play that. Show that comment from Brooke. There.
Put it.
Boom. There it goes. Right there. Boom. That's my answer. Is really Trump breaking the Constitution if the California politicians are doing treason? I don't know. I know one thing though. June 14th would be I'm staying my ass at home day. We're doing a national protest on Flag Day. Okay, well, good luck.
This is why I'm the crazy white boy. I go do the crazy shit.
You go out there and do the press, okay?
Yep. I will be out there. Me and my cousins. We ready.
Yeah, but hey, is there like video footage of the troops not being handled well with care?
I've seen it.
Like, is there
the pictures that they posted are from 2021. They were fact checked. Harry is the one that posted it and got his ass handed to him in his own video because they reversed image searched it. It's from Kabul airport in Afghanistan from 2021.
So there's no videos or
wait, and who was president in 2021?
Uh-oh.
Okay, my point.
I've seen footage. I mean, I didn't know what Enzo just said, but I've seen footage of them laying in the warehouse. You know,
I haven't seen any of that.
We gotta play that. Gray, you got that? Put that up there.
I'll pull that up, but first I'll play this because Nora is right. It is happening in Florida now.
So that there's no